AITA for sending my cheating girlfriend and her lover a congrats on your baby gift. Hi, I'm a 31-year-old man, and I was with my girlfriend, Sienna, for 5 years. About 2 years ago, Sienna got really into CrossFit because her best friend, Dylan, took her to a trial class. She joined an expensive gym called Iron Ryers, one of those places with concrete floors, loud music, and people who treat working out like a religion. She went every day, sometimes twice. I was happy she found something she was passionate about, even though the $200 membership fee was automatically coming out of my account. At first, the change was great. She looked stronger, more confident, was eating healthy, and had a new group of friends. I loved seeing her so motivated. For the first few months, I thought CrossFit was the best thing that had happened to our relationship in a long time. That's where she met Chase. Chase Davis, 28, a personal trainer and competitive CrossFit athlete. He had that whole perfectly calculated, tattooed, bad boy aesthetic. The type of guy who posts shirtless selfies with motivational quotes about beast mode and earn your body. You know the type. Ripped muscles, tribal tattoos on his arms, that arrogant confidence some women find irresistible. I only met him once. When I stopped by to pick Sienna up from the gym because her car was in the shop, he seemed friendly enough. He gave me one of those overly firm, territory-marking handshakes. Sienna introduced me as her boyfriend. He said all the right things, that I was a lucky guy, that she was making great progress. I should have paid more attention to the way they looked at each other. 3 weeks ago, my world fell apart. I was in client meetings all day. I finally got to check my phone around 3 p.m. and saw her text, "Honey, we're pregnant. I can't wait to celebrate tonight." This changes everything. My hands were literally shaking as I read it. We had been talking about having kids for months, looking at bigger places, planning our future together. I felt like this was the moment I had been waiting for my entire adult life. I replied immediately, "Oh my God, babe, this is amazing. I love you so much. We are going to celebrate properly tonight." I couldn't focus on anything for the rest of the day. I left the office early, stopped by the gourmet store to buy sparkling cider and all her favorite foods. Then I went to the jewelry store and spent $800 on a beautiful necklace with a small, heart-shaped diamond. I was already planning to propose that month, but this news basically sealed the deal. I got home around 5. Sienna wasn't back from the gym yet. I started setting up candles all over the living room. I ordered sushi from our favorite restaurant. I created a whole romantic atmosphere. While I waited for her to get back, I did what any excited father-to-be would do. I checked her Instagram to see if she had posted anything about our big news. She hadn't posted anything, but her best friend, Dylan, had, 3 hours earlier. It was a photo of Sienna holding a pregnancy test, standing right next to Chase at the gym. He had his hand on her stomach, and they were both grinning from ear to ear. The caption read, "OMG, you guys, I'm so excited for Sienna and Chase. Baby Davis is coming this fall. These two are going to be amazing parents. Total blessing. Baby Davis." Baby Davis? Chase's last name is Davis. I stared at the screen for what felt like hours, though it was probably 10 minutes. I read the text over and over. I zoomed in on their faces. I checked the time of the post. It was completely real. Sienna walked through the door at 6 p.m. She found me sitting on the couch with the phone in my hand, surrounded by romantic candles and her favorite food laid out on the coffee table. The diamond necklace was still in its little velvet box right in front of me, like a monument to my own stupidity. She was still in her gym clothes, hair up in a messy bun, with that post-workout glow I used to find so attractive. She had her gym bag on her shoulder and was looking at her phone when she looked up and saw my expression. She took one look at me and knew immediately that something was terribly wrong. "Did you see Dylan's post?" It wasn't a question. Her voice was flat, resigned, as if she'd been dreading this exact moment. "Yeah, I saw it." She dropped her gym bag and immediately started crying. But they weren't tears of regret or apology. They were tears of frustration, like she was genuinely annoyed at being caught in the elaborate lie she had constructed. She wasn't supposed to post it yet. I specifically told her to wait. "I was going to tell you the right way. I had a plan." "Tell me what exactly?" "That you're pregnant with another man's child?" "It's not that simple, Ethan. You don't understand the complexity of this situation." "Then explain it to me in simple terms. How long has this been going on? How long has what been going on?" That innocent act made my blood boil. Don't play dumb with me now, Sienna. How long have you been sleeping with Chase? She flinched at my tone, probably because I had never spoken to her so coldly before. Fine, for months. But Ethan, please, you have to listen to me and let me explain. For months? For whole months? While I was working 60-hour weeks to pay for our lifestyle, putting in overtime to save for an engagement ring, planning our future together. For months, while I was looking at bigger apartments, talking to you about having kids, imagining what our children would look like. Does he know it's his kid? Yes, but that's not the point. Does he know about me? That we've lived together for 3 years. The silence that followed told me absolutely everything I needed to know. She looked down, unable to meet my eyes. Jesus Christ, Sienna, did you tell both of us that we got you pregnant? No, that's not what happened. I never told Chase he got me pregnant. I told you, we're pregnant. Why? Because you're the one I actually want to raise this baby with. You would be an amazing father. The audacity of those words hit me like a freight train full of betrayal. You want me to raise another man's child while you carry on with your affair? You would be such an amazing father, Ethan. Chase isn't. He's not stable like you are. He's fun and exciting, but you're the one with the house, the career, and the money. She looked down at the floor. I didn't mean it like that. That's exactly what you meant. You want to keep sleeping with Chase while I pay for everything, including his kid. It's not like that. I love you both, just in different ways. Chase is the passion. You're the security. Why can't I have both parts of what I need? I started laughing, a bitter, harsh laugh that I didn't even recognize as my own. Because that's not how real life works, Sienna. You made your choice when you decided to sleep with him. Now you have to live with the consequences. Her tears instantly turned to anger. Don't you talk to me like that. I'm pregnant. With Chase's baby. Congratulations to you both. I'm sure you'll be very happy together. I stood up and started blowing out all the candles I had so carefully arranged. Where are you going? We need to have a serious talk about this. There's nothing left to talk about. Pack your things and get out of my house. This is my house too. Your name isn't on the mortgage. You pay $600 a month in what I generously call rent. Under state law, you're a tenant, and I'm giving you your official notice to vacate. You can't just throw me out. I'm pregnant with another man's child. Then take it up with him. She left that night, but not before screaming that I was abandoning her in her time of need, and that real men step up regardless of the biological situation. Real men, huh? Sienna ended up staying at Dylan's place, which, honestly, felt pretty fitting since Dylan had apparently been complicit in this whole charade. She started messaging me nonstop for 3 days straight, from several different numbers after I blocked her main one. The messages ranged from apologetic, I made a terrible mistake. We can get through this together. Please don't throw away 5 years, to manipulative. Think about this innocent baby who didn't ask for any of this, and then to downright threatening. You'll be sorry when my lawyer takes half of everything you own. I blocked every number she wrote from and started doing some serious research into who I had been living with for the past 5 years. First, I looked up Chase Davis online, doing a deep dive into his social media presence and his entire digital footprint. It turns out our friend Chase had a pretty well-documented history with women. 3 different women had left detailed reviews on various platforms for his personal training services, Google reviews for the gym, and even on dating app forums, warning other women about him. A classic manipulator who promises serious relationships but is really just looking to sleep with as many women as he can, with no commitment or consequences. The pattern was always the same: an intense beginning, promises of commitment, and then a gradual withdrawal as soon as he got what he wanted. He was currently living in a small studio apartment in a sketchy part of town and driving a leased BMW 3 Series that he probably couldn't even afford on his personal trainer salary of maybe $40,000 a year, if he was lucky. His Instagram was full of empty motivational quotes and thirsty comments from women, but zero substance. Second, I discovered that Sienna was far more financially dependent on me than I had ever calculated. I started going through my bank statements and bills with a fine-toothed comb. Her car insurance, $110 a month automatically charged to my card. Her phone line, $85 a month, included in my family plan. Her gym membership, $200 a month. On top of that, when she overspent on her credit card, which happened often, I would cover half, another $200 to $300 each month. Add in groceries, utilities, subscriptions, and her symbolic share of the rent. All in all, I was paying around $1,500 a month for expenses she should have been covering herself. Third, and most interestingly, I discovered that Chase was already in what looked like a serious, Instagram official relationship with a 22-year-old girl named Harper, who worked at a local coffee shop and had no idea about his extracurricular activities. They had been posting pictures together as recently as 2 weeks ago. Dinners, weekend trips, the typical romantic charade. That's when I had what some would call a diabolical idea, others brilliant, and my mother would have probably called petty and vengeful. Instead of just cutting Sienna off financially and moving on with my life like a mature person, I decided to have a little fun with the situation. Maybe it was petty, maybe it was vengeful, or maybe it was just what she deserved. But after 5 years of financially supporting someone who repaid me with betrayal and another man's pregnancy, I felt I had every right to cause a little chaos in her fantasy. I waited until Friday afternoon and sent a congratulatory gift basket to Iron Ryer's CrossFit. The deluxe package, balloons, sparkling cider, chocolates, the whole celebration kit. About $200 in total. The card read, "Congratulations, Chase, on your upcoming fatherhood. How exciting that you and Sienna are starting a family together. As her ex-boyfriend of 5 years, I wanted to personally wish you both the best. You're going to need it. P.S. Make sure Harper sees this delivery. She deserves to know what kind of man she's dating. Ethan." I arranged for the delivery to arrive during the Friday afternoon rush hour, when the gym would be packed with people. At 6 o'clock sharp, my phone started ringing. It was Sienna, calling from Dylan's phone since I had blocked hers. "What the hell did you do?" I sent a congratulatory gift. Seemed like the appropriate thing to do. Chase is furious. Harper broke up with him on the spot. His boss witnessed the whole scene, and now the entire gym knows what happened. Sounds like Chase is having a bad day. Maybe he should have thought about the consequences before getting another man's girlfriend pregnant. You're destroying innocent people's lives with this. I'm just sharing the good news. Isn't that what you wanted? To celebrate your pregnancy. She hung up. 20 minutes later, there was insistent ringing at my doorbell. At the door were Sienna, Chase, and Dylan. Chase looked ready for a physical fight. Sienna was crying hysterically, and Dylan was recording everything on her phone for some absurd reason. I calmly opened the door. Well, if it isn't the happy couple. Chase stepped forward aggressively. You think you're so funny, don't you? Actually, I think I'm absolutely hilarious. Congrats on the baby, champ. Hope you're mentally prepared for 18 years of child support. You had no right to do what you did. I had every right. She's my ex-girlfriend. You're the biological father. It's public information now. What exactly is the problem? Sienna pushed her way between us, desperate. Ethan, please. We need to talk about this rationally. Rationally? Like when you rationally decided to sleep with him while living in my house and spending my money. I made a mistake, but we can still work through this together. There's nothing to work through. You and Chase can work through raising your child. Dylan finally chimed in. Ethan, you have to think about what's best for this innocent baby. What's best for the baby is to have parents who plan for it and want to raise it together. That's Chase's responsibility now. Chase's face was getting redder by the second. Look, man, this isn't how I wanted any of this to go down. How exactly did you want this to go down? You thought you'd just keep sleeping with her while I continued to pay all her bills indefinitely. I didn't know about your situation at first. That's complete bullshit. Her Instagram account is filled with pictures of us together. You knew exactly what you were doing when you decided to pursue her. Sienna grabbed my arm, desperate. Ethan, I'm truly sorry. I will do absolutely anything. We can go to couples therapy. I'll cut off all contact with Chase. Whatever you want me to do. I looked at her hand on my arm, then at her face. 5 years, Sienna. 5 years of my life, my money, my plans for our future together. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to get all of your stuff out of my house this weekend, every last bit of it. Then you're going to figure out how to support yourself and Chase's child without any help from me. I can't support myself on my own. You should have thought about that before you got pregnant by someone else. They finally left after more arguing and threats, Sienna talking about lawyers, Chase hinting at physical confrontations. I watched them drive away in her car, the same car I had been making the payments on for 3 years. That weekend, Sienna came back to get her things, but she didn't come alone. She brought her mother, Evelyn, her sister, Lila, and, of course, Dylan for moral support. The official intervention squad had arrived. Evelyn started right away. "Ethan, honey, I know you're hurt right now, but to throw away 5 years over one mistake." One mistake? She's pregnant with another man's child. People make errors in judgment when they're confused. But Sienna truly loves you. She wants to marry you. Lila chimed in with a soft voice. "You can't just abandon her when she needs you the most." "I'm not abandoning anyone. The father of her baby can take care of her now." Sienna finally spoke. "Ethan, I'll sign a prenup. We can go to therapy together. I'll do whatever it takes to fix this. You want to fix it? Go back in time and don't sleep with Chase. I can't change what happened, but I promise you it will never happen again." "You're right. It won't happen again because we are completely finished. Think of that innocent baby," Evelyn pleaded. "It needs a stable father figure in its life. It has one, Chase." "Chase doesn't have your income level," Lila said quietly, "or your stability or maturity." And there it was. The truth finally came out. "So this is all about the money. It's about giving this baby the best possible life." Sienna shot back defensively. "You make $150,000 a year. Chase makes maybe $40,000. You own a house. He lives in a studio. You have an established career. He's still figuring his life out. So your master plan was to keep sleeping with Chase while I funded everything. It's not just about the money. It's entirely about the money. You wanted me to fund your life with Chase." Sienna's mask of self-control finally slipped. "You know what? Yes. So what if it's partly about the money? You have it. I desperately need it. We were great together before this happened. It doesn't have to change anything fundamental between us. It changes absolutely everything. Why? Because I made one mistake? Because I'm not perfect? Because you got pregnant by another man and then tried to pass his child off as mine?" The whole room went silent. Sienna's voice became very small. "I was going to tell you the truth. Eventually." "When exactly? After you married me? After I spent years raising his child, believing it was biologically mine?" I honestly don't know. I was scared of how you'd react." "You should be scared. You're 29 years old, pregnant, unemployed, and the father of your child makes $40,000 a year. You are completely screwed." Evelyn let out an audible gasp. "Ethan, there's no need for that kind of language. There is every need to be honest. Your daughter played with fire and got severely burned. That is no longer my problem." They collected her things and left. Sienna cried the entire time, saying that one day I'd realize what I lost when she was living her best life with Chase. Honestly, that was exactly what I was hoping for. Over the next 2 weeks, I watched Sienna's carefully constructed life completely unravel thanks to social media and mutual friends who, with a certain morbid pleasure, kept me updated on her rapid downfall. First, the financial reality hit her like a ton of bricks. Without my steady income covering her expenses, she had to move back in with her mother, Evelyn, who had always been quietly critical of her lack of ambition. Her car was repossessed within 10 days because I stopped making the payments immediately. Her phone service was cut off when the automatic payment from my account stopped, so she had to use Evelyn's phone for important calls. The credit cards I used to help pay off became her sole responsibility, and with no real income, she defaulted on the payments in less than a month. Her credit score surely plummeted like an anvil. All those little comforts she took for granted, weekly manicures, expensive skincare products, designer workout clothes, became impossible to afford. Second, the Real Chase started to show his true colors very quickly, and they weren't nearly as attractive as his perfect abs. It turned out he was not the least bit excited about fatherhood, as he had pretended to be when he thought it was a fun, secret affair. He started to emotionally distance himself almost immediately, saying he needed space to process everything and wasn't sure he was ready for that level of commitment. Translation: he was already looking for an exit because raising a baby wasn't in his plan. The guy who used to text her nonstop, take her to cheap motels, and promise her a future together suddenly became hard to reach. His replies became short and scarce, and he stopped initiating conversations. The classic ghosting behavior of a guy who never wanted anything serious. And third, the gym drama spiraled out of control in a way I never imagined. and it was absolutely beautiful to watch. The gossip spread through iron wires like wildfire, and Chase's professional reputation was apparently destroyed. It's hard to maintain credibility as a respected personal trainer when everyone knows you knocked up a client who was living with another man for 5 years. His female clients started requesting other trainers. Other gym members would whisper and point as he walked by. The gym owner, apparently concerned about the bad press and drama affecting the business environment, restructured his position, which in corporate speak means you're fired, but we don't want a wrongful termination lawsuit. Within 2 weeks, Chase went from being the gym star trainer to being unemployed and considered toxic within the local fitness community. In that world, rumors travel fast, and his reputation became basically radioactive. Sienna started contacting me through mutual friends, then showing up during my lunch breaks at work, and finally, started appearing at my house at random hours, crying and begging. "Ethan, please. I made a terrible mistake, but we can fix this together." "We can't fix anything. There is no us anymore. I desperately need help. This baby needs help. Call Chase." Chase is being really weird about all of this. He's not answering my calls or texts. Sounds like a Chase problem. I have no one else to turn to. Figure it out. How can you be so cold? I'm pregnant. You say that as if it's somehow my responsibility. It's not. She tried absolutely everything. Crying, yelling, bargaining, threatening to sue me. Nothing worked because I was already completely, irreversibly done with the situation. The final straw was when she showed up at my office with her mother, Evelyn, causing a huge scene in the reception area, screaming that I was abandoning her and destroying a family. Security had to escort them out, but not before Evelyn yelled loud enough for half the office to hear. "She gave you the best years of her life, and this is how you repay her." That night, I made a final decision on how I would handle the situation. 6 weeks later, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. "Ethan, it's Sienna. Please don't hang up." Her voice sounded completely different, defeated, hollow, as if someone had stripped away all her confidence and pride, leaving only raw desperation. "What do you want, Sienna?" "I need help. Desperately." Chase left town last week, packed up his apartment, and moved back to his hometown without telling me. He said he's not ready to be a dad and blocked my number on everything. Instagram, Snapchat, even LinkedIn. I found out from another trainer at the gym. There was a long pause, and I could hear her trying not to cry. "I'm staying at my mom's, but she's talking about kicking me out because we won't stop fighting about money and responsibility. She says I got myself into this, and now I have to deal with it. I can't afford prenatal care because I lost my health insurance when I lost my job. I got fired for calling out too much for morning sickness. They said I was unreliable. And I honestly don't know what to do anymore. Ethan, I'm 7 months pregnant, and I'm completely lost. Have you tried to get another job? Who's going to hire a visibly pregnant woman with no valuable skills or work history? I've applied everywhere. Ethan, retail, restaurants, cleaning services, even fast food. No one wants to hire someone who's going to need maternity leave in 2 months. The few places that did call me back, as soon as they saw my stomach, the position was suddenly filled. There was a long, heavy pause. I could hear her ragged breathing. Ethan, are you still there? I'm here. I know I ruined everything. I know I hurt you so deeply, and I know you probably hate me more than anyone, but I am absolutely desperate. This baby, the baby deserves better than this. Better than a mom who can't even afford prenatal vitamins. It's not my baby, Sienna. I know it's not yours biologically, but you are literally the only person in my life with the financial ability to help me out of this. My parents are on a fixed income. My sister just had a baby of her own. Dylan can barely afford her own rent. Please, I will do absolutely anything you ask. Anything. Anything. I'll sign legal documents saying you owe me nothing, ever. I'll never contact you again after this is over. I'll move to another city if you want. Whatever you need from me, just help me get through this, please. I let the silence stretch uncomfortably, listening to her soft crying on the other end of the line. I'm thinking very carefully about your request, Sienna. Another long pause. Just her sobs. Here's what's going to happen, Sienna. You are going to post on your Instagram account, the one with 12,000 followers who think you're some perfect, put-together woman, the complete, unvarnished truth. that you cheated on me with your personal trainer, that you got pregnant by him during a 4-month affair, that you tried to pass his child off as mine to get me to support you financially, and that I owe you absolutely nothing. You're going to tag Chase, Dylan, your family members, everyone who knows us. A full, public confession with no excuses. Ethan, no. That would completely ruin my reputation. Your reputation is already ruined. This just makes it official. People will think I'm a horrible person. You are, Sienna. You just hid it very well for 5 years. She broke down sobbing. If I do this, will you help me? Maybe. Maybe. Post the confession, tag everyone involved, make it completely public. Then we'll see. And if I refuse, then you'll figure it out on your own. You're a strong, independent woman, right? You don't need a man to save you. The line went silent except for her crying. I'll think about it. You have exactly 24 hours. After that, my offer expires forever. I hung up. 26 hours later, she posted it. The whole, dirty story, complete with tags and public apologies. The comments were absolutely brutal. Her follower count dropped from 12,000 to 3,000 in just 2 days. She called me, crying hysterically. I did it. I posted everything like you wanted. Please, Ethan, I'm begging you. Help me. Interesting choice of words. Begging. Yes, I am literally begging you. I'm 7 months pregnant, completely broke, and have nowhere to go. You were right about everything. I'm a horrible person, and I deserve this. But the baby doesn't deserve it. The baby has a father. Chase won't even acknowledge he exists. That's a Chase problem, not an Ethan problem. Please. She was fully sobbing now. I will get on my knees if I have to. I'll do anything you want. Just don't let me end up on the street with a baby. And there it was. 5 years of her thinking she was too good for me, too attractive for me, that she was doing me a favor by being with me, and now she was literally begging me for help. This is my final offer, Sienna. I will pay the rent on a studio apartment for exactly 6 months. Just the rent, nothing else. That gives you time to figure out how to support yourself and Chase's child. After 6 months, you are completely on your own. The end. That's it. That's it. It's more than you deserve. What about food, medical bills, baby supplies? Get a job, apply for government assistance. Ask your family for support. Not my problem. 6 months isn't enough. Then you'd better get moving fast. Take the offer or leave it. There was total silence, except for her crying. I'll take it. Good choice. I found her a studio apartment in a decent area, nothing fancy, for $800 a month. I paid for exactly 6 months of rent. I never saw her again in person. We never spoke again after that last conversation. According to mutual friends, she's currently working double shifts at a local diner, living paycheck to paycheck. Chase is dating a 20-year-old college student he met on a dating app. The baby is healthy, which is honestly the only part of this whole story that I actually care about. Sienna learned the hard way that actions have real consequences. She traded a stable, loving relationship with a man who genuinely cared for her for a few months of excitement with a guy who abandoned her the second things got complicated. Now she's a single mother making minimum wage, while I'm dating a brilliant lawyer who actually respects me and contributes equally to our relationship in every way. The end. If you liked it, don't forget to leave a comment and support the channel by subscribing. See you in the upcoming stories.
And he goes, hey, I go, yeah, fucking when I was in 4th grade, I was into wrestling, and a buddy of mine knew how to do the figure 4 leg lock, and unfortunately, the only way to teach someone how to do it is to put him in it. And he put me in the fucking thing, and when I sat up to try to free my leg, that was the first time I felt something go out in my back. And then the next time was playing football freshman year of high school, pickup football. I didn't play organized. Because I got a D in math in 5th grade, and that was my retirement. Like when Jordan retired in 2003, except I won 1 championship, and I never returned. But anyways, he was able to fix all of that shit. I immediately felt better. The next day I was sore, and then over the weekend, like last night for the first time in like 2 months, I was able to sit down for a significant period of time and have no pain whatsoever. And I just been doing all these stretches, And the biggest one is I've been doing that, the up dog yoga stretch for your, your psoas muscle in the front. I just thought it connected your top to your bottom, just where your hips were, and it ran perpendicular to your waist. I didn't realize that it came up and then kind of made like an S turn right to like the middle of your body. He was explaining it to me. I forget what it is, but like I've been stretching that thing and doing my Vietnamese gambler squat and a couple of runner stretch. And I think by this time next week, I should be right as rain. And dude, he fucking cracked my back. I didn't know he was going to do it. I was laying on my back, and he goes, all right, bring your knees up, bring them over to the side, just let it relax, let me have all the weight, and fucking right there, Fred. And I just started fucking laughing like, dude, what the fuck? Because I always thought it was like they were cracking your bones. I guess there's gas that they're releasing in there. I have no fucking idea. But anyways, I don't know. I that's something I always have to remember, that just because something's a racket doesn't mean that there's not somebody that's really good at it. You know what I mean? Like, think of the reputation that comedians have. We don't have a good reputation. We're on off stage. We're attention whores. We got the fucking lampshades on our head, and we tell fucking awful jokes. Yet, despite that, there's still your fucking, Dave Attell's, Chappelle's, Louis C.K.'s, and all of those fucking guys. So that's, I guess, what you got to do. You got to find the Louis C.K. of chiropractors before you fucking go in, and I think I did. So, I don't know. So I don't even know how to get out of this. This was just something good happened to me, and I told you the story, and nothing bad happened, so I don't have any jokes about it. Other than I couldn't find the fucking place. I was driving over with my phone, right? It's directing me over there, and then in the last second, right when I needed it, where the building was, I hit like a dead zone, and I had nothing. And I walked up to the building. It was one of those partially like rented buildings, so it looked like it was abandoned from where I was. And I'm looking in, and by now I'm already losing my shit. I'm like, great, there's nobody even in this fucking building's abandoned. And then I just see this nurse walk by looking at me with their scrubs on. Like, what the fuck is your problem? Then I had to kind of be like, play it off and then kind of follow her around to the part of the building that was actually being used. I swear to God, man, I need to learn how to have patience. I have zero fucking patience. I have zero fucking tolerance. All of that shit. And I don't know. It's really going to be the death of me. I really got to learn to just fucking relax. It's weird. Little shit.